What's up, my former nice people? Okay, y'all have no idea how long I've been sitting here to try to figure this out, but we got it. We got it. We got it. Now, we are going to get started. My name is Ase Daniels, and welcome to webinar three, um, hosted by kindnessdefined.com, my new book that's coming out momentarily. But I'm going to be doing monthly webinars to let people know who my target audience is, who you guys are, and what the goal of all what we're doing is. And just a quick summary of who my target audience is. They are introverts. We are introverts, okay? Um, those of us who struggle with saying no, the no gets stuck in our throat. It kind of gets stuck right in here, right? And those of us who appreciate spiritual principles, everything I share and teach and share and preach and coach and whatever, it's all based on spiritual principles. Okay. So I want to make sure everybody understands what they're getting into. And this is not for everybody. This is just for those who I mentioned just now. Okay. We're going to get started here. I think I finally figured it out. And I think you guys will really enjoy where you can see the slides and me and everything. I'm excited. I'm excited. Um, and if I don't get another chance to, happy holidays to you guys. Hopefully, you guys are getting ready to be on holiday break and you can enjoy time with your family, even if it's virtual. Um, I heard my principal say that we should assume that everybody has COVID-19. Okay. Make sure we stay safe and let's just get through this mess of a year and hopefully not much more will linger on next year. We got the vaccine that's supposed to be coming out, and I know, but hopefully it's better than what it is, than what it's been. That we can have something to kind of go against this thing, and hopefully turn the tide. But we can still practice social distancing, wash our hands, and more than anything, improve on our health. Our bodies are our natural defense, our number one defense. And I think it's important that we maximize our health, our immune system, get it boosted to the highest capacity so that we can fight it off. Even if we come in contact with someone, we can still fight it off. Or at worst, if we do end up with it, we can fight off and not be bound with it, right? Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. We're going to get started here. We are going to get started here. And I think I'm going to figure this out. Okay. Tonight's outline, kindness and limits. We're going to break these four pillars down. What are limits? What makes them necessary? How do kindness and limits go together? We're going to break that down in four ways to set kind limits in your life today. We're going to explain where my goal is every webinar, every blog, every podcast, every time I interact with you guys, my social media, everything will be I'll be sharing and teaching immediately applicable principles that you can grab and listen and see and hear and say, okay, boom, I can do that right now. If that's you, okay, if that's you, if that's what you need to do that now. Okay, that's my goal. So we're going to be working through that. All right, so what are limits? Let's break this down. We know what it is in our head, but so I'm going to give the overall view and then I'm going to land the plane. And it's going to be an exploded view of all the details of what all these things mean for us that struggle, that are introverts, those of us that struggle with saying no. Again, you could be an introvert, but maybe you don't struggle with saying no. It can be both, okay? So whichever lane you land in, this is for you, okay? Private property, caution. We see these things. Where we allow, and I'm going to share a book called Boundaries by Henry Clapp. This is what I believe everybody who is 18 years old and above should read. It should be mandatory curriculum. If you're in college, you shouldn't be able to graduate without it. If you have a business, this should be number one. This is a business book. It's an intrapersonal book. It's a relationship book. It's a life book that changed my life. And I want to share with you guys. And honestly, a lot of the principles that what the book taught me is what motivated me to write my current book. Okay, Kindness Defined. And I think it's important that we understand what boundaries or limits are. You know, we see them everywhere we go. You know, and they're sometimes they're invisible, sometimes they're visible, right? But they are real, and we need to pay attention to them. Okay, we know these ones, especially the caution one. These are things barbed wire. Usually, either they try to keep the people that need to be in, and or they try to keep the people out. Right? There should be in, out. Y'all know. Okay, so we get that, right? But limits, this is my working definition. This is my personal working definition. I love definitions, but a lot of times I don't know, and I'm gonna, challenge myself. I'm gonna write the people that write the dictionary, Webster's, whoever. I'm gonna send them an email and say, hey, you need to work on this definition or that definition. They are extremely important to me. And I want to, and I want to know that process. How do words get defined in the dictionary? I'm gonna challenge myself to do that. Either way, limits are self-imposed boundaries we place on ourselves and others to ensure our overall success. Okay, very important. We have to know our limits. Okay, we have to know our limits. And in the book, Boundaries breaks it down where we allow the good in and keep the bad out. Very simple. Okay, but I think there's ways that, and I'm gonna break it down later, that we as individuals need to put self-imposed limits on ourselves along with putting limits on other people. Okay, I think there's a balance, a very important balance, and that's why I chose to go with this webinar topic. Okay, what makes limits important? We know what this looks like. Speed limits are designed to enhance safety by reducing the risk. Okay, they reduce the risk created by drivers selecting the speed they wish to drive. Oh my goodness. Could y'all, I'm reading the definition here, but I need y'all to understand, if everybody got to choose whatever speed they wanted to go, and notice the picture here has radar and force, we will not be able to get home every day from work. It'll be chaos on the roads. Somebody's going 120, somebody's going 15. Could you imagine that? I'm telling, even on the Autobahn over in Germany, people are allowed to go, but it's a speed limit, okay? And let me read the rest. Without speed limits, drivers would be traveling at different rates, which would greatly increase the chance of collision. Let me say this real quick. The problem with the most of us that get that no stuck in our throat, that our no has gone silent, is because, and we get into a lot of chaos, a lot of drama, is because our no has become silent. We haven't put up our sign, our forgive me, maybe our virtual sign. We have not put it up. Other people don't know the limits that we set or that we expect and demand from others. Now, we don't have to yell and scream or fuss and cuss about it, but we need to be clear. We're going to get to that. But even a specific certain place like this picture here, it looks like Florida, but they know if we don't post the limit, then we can't hold you accountable for it. Oh, that's good. That is good. If I don't speak up and use my words, how can I hold that other person accountable for stepping over or going over the speed limit? Okay? This is extremely important. I need us to understand this thing. Okay? Now, I picked this picture on purpose because I wanted us to see the extensive amount of limits that are in place. Look, keep off the median, no turn on red. You know, we got the merge lane, we got the handicap sign. There's a bump coming up. There's a way station. A lot of these are helpful. A lot of these are to avoid drama. And you know, like there's a road I drive this morning. Some guy, I don't know, these days people are really, really on edge. I mean, good grief. This guy was honking me. I'm looking, and in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go slow because you're not gonna pay if I get in an accident. So you can honk all you want, but I'm gonna take my time because there was all kind of cones, and the guys were literally running out to put the cones on the road, and it was crazy. So everybody's frustrated when there are no limits in place or unclear limits. Notice what happens when you're driving and the detour turns one way, you use a detour, and it wasn't a detour at all. Could you imagine the frustration? We've all been there. Those of us are old enough to drive, know the frustration when the sign is wrong, or there's no sign, but there should have been, or when people are going too fast, they're going too slow, all these different things. Limits, again, so this is the point here, why limits are important. Look at all these signs, just from the street signs, from driving. This doesn't include interpersonal. This doesn't include professional work ethics and how we're to treat one another at work. Now imagine all these things that go unsaid. Oh man, this is important. And this is the extreme case. But notice it says crime scene, do not enter. Why? Once the collision, once the drama, once the misunderstanding, once the conflict occurs, there needs to be a limit on who or what we allow to interact with us and interact with the situation. Okay. Oh, this is just like the forensic police officers and what do they call them? Either way, the detectives. Yeah, they come in and they look at the scene. Okay, well, how did this person die? What was involved in the accident and or murder? Right? We also watch the shows. They have to screen it off because they don't want the general public entering in and messing up the crime scene, contaminating the crime scene. Oh, this is so good, y'all. We need to understand why limits are important both before the drama and the issue and after. There's only select people we should allow to interact with us or interact with the hurt feeling or emotion, because if we allow everybody in there, the scene will get contaminated with well, you should have, and they should have, and I didn't, and all kind of extra voices that are completely unnecessary to solve the crime, to solve the problem that occurred, to avoid this drama from happening again. Okay? Oh man, this is good, y'all. Now we gotta put it all together. Let's put it all together. Put it all together. Put it all together. I've been talking about some things, but we're gonna break it down. How kindness and limits go together? Oh, please listen, y'all. Listen. Okay. The kindness this is my working definition. I like it a lot. Y'all notice I like the working definitions. Okay. Listen. The intentional, practically and helpful mindset. It's a mindset, you all. Kindness is a mindset. We need to have the proper mindset when we leave our home. Oh, kindness is the intentional, practical, and helpful mindset or act which ensures a deeply memorable and spiritual impact on ourselves and others. This is what kindness is truly about. The doppelganger. I love that word. The doppelganger of kindness is being nice. It's a twin, a pseudo version of kindness. And what's my definition? Nice. A subtle, culturally acceptable form of manipulation to gain acceptance. Yeah, I said manipulation. Y'all heard it right. Subtle form of manipulation to gain acceptance, where we deliberately avoid telling the truth to ensure shallow interactions. We keep everybody at arm's length. We don't care to get to know anybody. We don't care to open ourselves up. We are insecure about whatever. So we keep everybody at arm's length. We're nice. Now this is a select group of us that live in this lane. We're nice. And we have a subtle, and it's culturally acceptable. So everybody I believe everybody weaves in and out of this lane from time to time in their life. Everybody, okay? A subtle, culturally acceptable form of manipulation to gain acceptance so that everybody don't look at you as a jerk or acting like a jerk. But some of us really don't care, so I'm not talking about y'all right here, okay? So a lot of us don't care what other people think or say about us, okay? But that's not me. I'm dealing with my people. This is the group. I want to create a safe environment so we can share and break down and erase the word nice from our mental vocabulary and life. Oh, that sounds like it should go on the book. That's good. So we have to erase the word nice from our mental vocabulary and our lives, in our daily lives. I gotta write that down. I gotta write that down. I'm gonna listen to this again. Deliberately avoid telling the truth to ensure shallow interactions, avoiding speaking our truths, which makes little or no impact on the lives of others or our own. People nice to us all day, every day. We don't remember it. It's not memorable. It doesn't move the needle. It's not transformational. It's not deeply spiritual. This it's almost like salt that's lost its savor. You know, we know what the Bible talks about that. Salt that's lost its savor is literally useless. And I believe being nice is one of these subtle, culturally acceptable things that we do that literally has no value whatsoever. But kindness changes the world. Kindness literally has a trifold benefit to the person doing the act of kindness for someone else, the person receiving the act of kindness, and the people observing the act of kindness being done. All of us get an endorphin rush, a dopamine fix, a natural high from watching these things go on. There's a way it stamps on our brain that we literally cannot forget someone who is kind to us or when we've witnessed a kind act done for someone else. We literally can't forget it. But being nice people do that all the time. It doesn't do anything for us beneficial, but it's not. Now it does. Now I shouldn't say little or no impact. It really does, but it has a negative, detrimental impact because again, our truth goes silent, and we avoid interactions, intimacy with each other as human beings. We're human beings. We are built to be in community. When we try to isolate ourselves, introverts, there's not much good that could come from it. Now, I'm not saying we got to jump out the hole all the time and be and live and be the life of the party all day, every day. That ain't gonna work. But I believe our goal is to shift, not go to one extreme or the other, but to shift in the middle and come up and to work towards being ambiverts. That's a word where we can choose when to step out. Okay, we can choose when to interact and to become intimate and to become closer and to show kindness and to receive kindness from other people. Okay, we don't always have to live in our hole and away from other people. It's not healthy, and we can't control whether or not people will take advantage of it or not. But at least we can have a defense against people taking advantage of us is by speaking our truth in love. That's another spiritual biblical principle. Speaking the truth in love. That's kindness in regards especially to relationships. Okay, let me keep going. Oh, I got a lot to share. Character is revealed in how we treat ourselves as well as others. This is character. Kindness is character, and character is kindness. There's no avoiding this. The problem is that we think someone with good character only does good for other people. This is where we get tripped up. This is where we lose value in ourselves. Even Jesus, again, a biblical spiritual principle. And by the way, if you're a Christian or not, I believe what I'm teaching is applicable as long as you appreciate spiritual principles that you don't have to believe in the Bible per se to accept the spiritual principles what it teaches. Okay, and a lot of people are benefiting from it, and God, the universe. God is so faithful. I believe he honors what he says and what he teaches, what he is taught in the Bible, whether you accept him or not. That's how faithful God is. That's why I choose to follow him. That's why I'm a Jesus follower. Okay, that's my choice. But I believe all of us that want to be successful for the long term need to have good character. And character is revealed in how we treat ourselves as well as others. That's why kindness is so important, because kindness is clear. And what I say here is, if we are not clear, we are not being kind. That's the bottom line. End of discussion. In relationships, at work, um, online, why leave room for confusion? Is because we're being too nice and we don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. But again, what the book Boundaries taught me, and I believe I want to teach you all, is that we are not responsible for the feelings of others. Okay? We are responsible for how we share and speak our truth, not with again, not fussing and cussing. And I read another book by Gretchen Rubin, where she broke down the four tendencies, I believe the name is, and talk about obligers. And obligers are those that are usually introverts. I don't love the word obliger because it has a negative connotation, and a lot of times us introverts get labeled in a negative connotation. I don't love that. Again, definitions are very important to me. So but either way, she calls it obliger rebellion, where all of a sudden you've been saying yes, you've been nice, you've never spoken your truth, and then all of a sudden you stuff your true feelings, true emotions, how you really feel, stuff, and all of a sudden kaboom. And the problem with that, and you start to fussing, you start to cussing, you do things you never would do and you would never say originally, but because you've been holding on to what you thought you needed to do, and you were so nice to everybody, but you refuse to be kind to yourself and speak your truth in love to yourself and to others so that they will respect your limits. This is where we get into problems. Hmm. Mm-hmm. It hurts because I've been there, and I know everybody's been there. When we are not clear, we are not kind. We're not being clear to our spouse. That's not being kind. It's not. It's not. Why stop assuming your husband's supposed to know? Be clear. Be kind to that man. And husbands, wait till February, y'all. Oh my goodness, wait till February. I'm saving it, the relationship, kindness in relationships. I'm saving that for, I got to go one, y'all. It's I'm gonna tease the name of it is going to be called the friend relationship flaw. I said it right. The friend relationship, friendship and relationship flaw. There's a flaw in it, and I'm gonna expose it. Listen, I love doing these webinars because I just love exposing. I love calling it out. I love bringing it to the surface. I'm an exhorter. That's my gift. So that's what I love to do. I'm looking forward to doing it, and I'm exposing how nice is dangerous in the book and through these webinars. But that one in February, I'm saving it for Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's Day. But what I want to do is empower us with practical tips and techniques and strategies and principles so we can be clear and kind, especially in relationships. And I'll just do a little commercial here. We see it's subtle, and the world, everybody kind of accepts this as a natural kind of way to do things. When you break up, you're supposed to be friends. Wrong. Where do we need limits in our lives today? Let me jump into it. Negativity. We need to put a limit on negativity, whether it's through the nightly news, and now with social media, with 24-hour access to the news, we can literally spend all day listening to negativity, and it's dangerous to our spirit, our minds, our bodies. Our bodies are not built to hold on and to process and think through and digest emotionally constant negativity. And this, a lot of us, especially in this, all this pandemic did was compound what a lot of us have already been doing, is constantly absorbing, constantly allowing in, without any kind of limit, without any kind of screening process, constant negativity. And there's individuals we need to limit our access to, or there are individuals that we need to limit their access to us because they're constantly negative. Every time you pick up the phone, Every time they text you, negative, 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 negative. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Always wrong, always wrong, always wrong. Nothing good, nothing good. How can you, it just, and then we wonder why we end with holes in our stomach, can't sleep, headaches. Be careful. You know who you are. You live in this space. Every day you going to work, you cussing somebody out on the road. We need to put a limit. 2021 is the time to put limits on ourselves and others. It's time to do it. It's mandatory. And some of us don't have the tools. That's my job moving forward with this book, is to equip us. And it's not, y'all, if y'all really knew me, I sure I want to make money for the book. I want everybody to buy the book, but I want to make sure that it's equipping us. And I share my story, my life, and I'm gonna get a T-shirt. This one says non-compliant, because that's how I roll. You know, sometimes if I don't agree with it, I'm not just gonna go along. See, again, what the new shirt is gonna say former nice guy, girl, person, whatever. I'm gonna break it down, but I need us to make the shift from being nice to being kind. I promise you it's better. I promise you we will have more confidence, more clarity, more energy, more direction when we're kind. But a lot of times we think it's just kind. Oh, I'm gonna go feed the homeless. Oh, I'm gonna pay for somebody's meal, which are great, and we need to do those things. But the problem is that we do things for others when we're kind to others and really nice to ourselves, and that's to our detriment. Let me keep going. Our time, again, we need, see, this is one of the challenges, and I'm going to get to this later, but the challenge is that we don't put a limit on our time. We don't put a limit on our time. We don't, most of the successful people that we know, they all have limits on their time. It makes no sense, and they literally would not wake up and start a day without planning their schedule out. But a lot of us, we leave our schedule all willy-nilly. So a lot of times we feel like we have to say yes because we're not organized. We don't know. We don't know what we're going to do. And then we get bitter because there's things we really want to do. We haven't took the time to plan it out and to break it down into small, manageable parts that we can get started each day to chip away. So now our schedule is wide open and people ask us to do things. They know we're Mr. Depender, Mr. and Mrs. Dependable, and we can always be called upon at the last minute to do whatever, more times than not, because our schedule is open. You know, we stay late at work, you know, we get there early, we're doing for everybody else. Now, I'm not saying when you go to work, you're not supposed to work. You should definitely work. But the problem is that when time to go, we need to turn off I'm jumping ahead. We need to put a limit on our time. And if you're not organized, then you're going to have big problems. And that's why for me personally, I keep the Sabbath. That's the seventh day. I keep it. Every Saturday, you know, for me personally, again, starting on Friday night and till Saturday evening, Friday night, Saturday night, I don't open emails. You know, I don't work at all. I spend time in worship and going to church and spending time with my wife and checking in on family and just fellowship and interacting. A lot of these things that I wasn't able to do during the week, that I put off work. I turn off all that so I have more time to reconnect to God, to my spiritual walk, and to my wife, and to those you know, friends and family, those that I enjoy spending time with. That was what a Sabbath is about. But some of us work all through the week and weekend, all through. Emails constantly blaring. You know, text messages, you know, notifications, all are on, ready for you to respond. That is not healthy, and it's dangerous. And even God himself took a break. Who do we think that we don't need a break? It's a crash and burn coming. And I'm thinking, see, one of the benefits of this pandemic is a lot of us finally got a chance to slow down and stop, because we couldn't do what we were normally able to do. And it's disappointing and it's sad that some of us have lost our job. But for me, if you are a Jesus follower, it's not about you losing your job. It's about Jesus knowing that you needed a break. He gonna take care of the job. He know you needed a break because you were on the edge of breakdown, and physical and health challenges were on. You were at the precipice of those physical and health challenges. The pandemic hit. You finally stopped, and hopefully, maybe you decided, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to start taking better care of myself. Let me keep going. So we got to keep a Sabbath. I challenge you, even if it's just one day. Now I know which one I choose. You should make a choice. You need to take a Sabbath. Our money. Okay, limits on money. Some of us budgets are busted. Busted. I mean, like a big old grenade landed in our bank account. We don't know where our money's going. We don't know what we're doing with our money. I'm laughing because I'm the worst with money. Thank God I married who I married. Thank God. She loves looking at spreadsheets and accounts. She loves looking at this stuff. I can't stand it. It bothers me. That's why one of my goals is to have more streams of income so I can just have a boatload of money and just make sure at least the bills are taken care of. Look at this brother right here. I mean, I feel, y'all feel this, brother? Look at that stress. It's because we don't know how to set limits on our money. We don't give every dollar a name, a specific clear name, savings. We need to save some money, y'all. Stop eating out so much. Gosh, I mean, it hurts. Look, he probably looking at his food budget that he blown by eating out every other night. I see it. Look at his face. Oh, it hurts. He had to take the glasses off to really see if he's seeing what he's seeing. The glasses are messing me up. We need to put limits on our money, y'all. We can't be living from check to check. We got to have some space. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who's there, y'all. I'm working there. We're working to get 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. See, some of us could really benefit from that once the pandemic hit and the whole planet got shut down. Some of us could have really leaned on that nest egg of to take care of the bills while you try to figure out what the next plan was for work. But again, we don't have limits on our money. And everybody's calling and we just kind of living life loose and without any real structure to our dollars. This pandemic really hit us hard. It's time to put some limits on your money. And Oprah Winfrey has 7 coaches. And I'm sure one of them is a finance person. You know, she got a fitness coach, probably a wellness coach. You know, these individuals she interviews, I don't really, but I don't watch her a whole ton, but I know enough. And as somebody mentioned that she has 7 coaches. I looked up LeBron James, and I could be wrong, but he has at least 13 different coaches. He has his big 4, Maverick Carter and those dudes. They handle the business. And how many? Now he knows of it, I'm sure, but how many? He knows enough to know I need a coach. Some of us need a finance coach. We need a health and wellness coach. We need a fitness coach. We need a mental coach, i.e., a therapist or counselor. Yeah. Again, to be successful, we have to put limits on what we think we could do and empower someone else, pay someone else to come in and coach us in an area that we're weak so we can be strengthened and empowered to finally take the ball instead of running 100 miles instead of figuring out how you could have got there more efficiently, faster, without less stress and angst to have gotten there. One little tweak, one little adjustment that coach gives you can mean years of benefit. Years. Again, when we're invested in ourselves. See, when we're kind, we invest in ourselves. When we're nice, we invest in everybody else and leave ourselves at a detriment. That's not right. It's not healthy, and we need to make the shift going into 2021. It's time. If the pandemic has taught you nothing, you must begin to put limits on others and on yourself, especially like this budget right here. Let me jump down somebody's throat right quick and stomp on it and put a sledgehammer to somebody's toes. Social media. Some of us need to delete some apps like tonight, like right now. As soon as y'all finish, let's delete some. Give yourself a mental break. Some of these groups in Twitter, and I mean, you talking about the the evil comes out, y'all. I'm talking about the evil, and I'm so glad that this election is over, and that this back and forth in the blue and the red, and you know it's now both sides can be wrong. Both sides. How we're responsible for how we interact and how we share and how we express. Now, it's not wrong to express that we disagree, but what my old pastors taught me is one thing to disagree, it's a whole nother thing to be disagreeable, where everything is wrong. It doesn't matter what they say. I see good on both sides, and I made my decision. But we got to get away from these painting all people one way and all people one way. That is not kind. That's I don't even know what to call it. But social media is a venue for a lot of people. They call them Twitter fingers, or happy, that things they would say online, but they would never say person to person to the person that they really have the issue with. Never. And see, some of us have all these apps on our phone, all of them. We just love the alerts. I mean, our phone, by the time we get to work in the morning, our phone is already down 35, 50%. Because alert, notification. Constant notifications. It's time to put a limit on some of those. Some of them we don't even use anymore. They're just on our phone. And the alerts are constant. We just ignore them. We just like knowing we get notifications. And I get it. Trust me, I do. I used to have a BlackBerry, and I used to love the BlackBerry, y'all. I used to love it, man. That was my first cell phone. I've owned over 50 different cell phones. I was a cell phone junkie, no doubt. Android, BlackBerry, iPhone, all the models, all Samsung, all of them. But eventually, I couldn't afford to keep buying the newest, latest, and greatest, and I got tired. And I couldn't, right now, I couldn't afford to buy what I wanted and my wife wanted, because husbands, here's a little commercial, don't buy yourself something new unless you're willing to buy your wife one or something similar. Don't do it. Some of y'all been married long enough, or some young husbands out there, please learn this lesson. If you buy something cool for yourself, make sure you buy one for your wife. Okay, commercial over. Social limits. Social media, time to put the limit. Social limit. I like that. Social distancing. Now we need to have an emotional, oh man, that's good. Emotional social distancing. Some of us, because of social media, everybody just can access us. Some people we don't need to be friends with online. We need to cut them. Unfollow. Hold on, I got a slide here. I'm gonna get to it. Some of them we gotta. Let me just go. So okay, so this is the real. This is the real angst right here. A lot of us need to limit ourselves, where it's specifically our negative speech towards ourselves. Many of us have what's called we have it on our playlist, and there's either one song or a few songs that we like playing over and over again, and it's just on repeat. The problem is that some of us have a negative speech that's stuck in our mind, so that even before we make a decision, or before we're going to ask for a raise, before we're going to ask someone for a date or to go out with them, or before we apply for a new job, or before we submit a presentation, that tape, that playlist song, or that negative speech, it just repeats over and over. You're not able to do that. Who do you think you are? You're not smart enough for that. You're not attractive enough for them. You're just going to mess it up like last time. Repeat. We need to do some self-work to find out where these came from. It's not. How long are we going to continue to have these negative, broken, unhelpful, unkind playlists, mental and emotional playlists that are stuck. We're stuck. A lot of us are stuck, grown chronologically, but emotionally, mentally, and even maybe spiritually, we're stunted, and we're stuck in a space that we don't know how to get out of. Again, i.e., we need a mental coach, a therapist. Yeah, one little tweak, one conversation can change your life. To be able to unearth all that drama, all those issues, all that negativity, unearth it, learn practical tips and tools to apply to your life so that now you can counter that negative speech with something positive. Okay. And what in my personal prayer time and what I've learned is that, you know, what I've learned to pray is that God will help reveal, remove, and replace anything that is not like him or that he doesn't want me to be like. Reveal it, remove it, replace it. See, this is the key. And a lot of us in the Christian background, we know what's wrong. Um, we it's revealed, it's removed a lot of the times, but we don't take the time to replace it, either with God's what I call his power promises, his principles, um, with healing, with trauma, going back and unearthing the trauma, removing the painful emotion from the act that happened, the negative event. Because we don't do this, we end up going, because we don't replace the negative with the positive, eventually the negative will come back. This is important. So how do we put this into practice? How do we put this? 4 ways. 4 ways to set kind limits moving forward. I covered it before, but it says 4 words. Number 1, identify your goals. If you don't know where you're going, you'll always get there. What's the other way? Oh yeah, he said, wasn't it Alice in Wonderland where the cat said, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Some of us don't know where we're going, so we're being too nice to ourselves. We haven't really nailed it down, our goals. We don't know what we want to do at work. We kind of know, and I believe until you write it down, until you grab a pen to paper or a note or application to keyboard and to keys, your fingers to the keys, and start writing these things out and look at it on a regular basis, they're not reality. All this is dreams and wishes. That's just not real. It's not tangible. It's not good. It's not going to land from here to life. It's not going to do it. You have to plan it out, identify, give it a name. What do you want to do? By when? Make a SMART goal, SMART. You know, specific, measurable, applicable, realistic, and then time key, right? Y'all know the SMART. Look it up. But we need to know by a certain time, because if you blink, some of us will get a little older because we never really had a real clear idea. Now, you know, me personally, I don't love it when some women choose to say, I want to be married by this age, but I get it if it's in combination with all these other goals, because I believe that if you put a limit on when you want to be married by, that's another conversation. Maybe we'll touch on that in the next webinar in February. We talk about relationships, but I'm not mad at it. I get it now. I'm starting to make the shift emotion just to understand it better. Excuse me. As far as the women are concerned, I get it. But the problem is, if we don't have these goals and we're just kind of living life and kind of loose and no real structure and no real limits in place to keep the bad out, to keep the jive turkeys out. Yeah, jive turkeys, and I'm gonna break those down, who they are. Those that see, jive turkeys are the ones with no goals, and they all of a sudden find their way to you. You want to place yourself with eagles, not with the pigeons. Eagles have goals. They know what they want to accomplish. And a man who has goals will not be attracted to long-term marriage-wise. They might have a little fun with you, but they're not taking you home nowhere unless you got some goals, unless you have some structure, unless you have some character that's going to sustain you on your way to your goals. See, so it's hard now, and there's a lot of jive dudes out there. I'm challenging the brothers who are listening to this. We need to have goals, or else we're just going to be wasting a lot of our life. Look at this timeline. Before you blink, 10 years is gone. Because a lot of us, we had our head down, we're doing for everybody else. They're like, wait a minute, oh, I have goals for myself, but we never put ourselves first so that we could do more for others. That's the principle. That's what I want to teach. The problem is that when we're being so nice, we're doing for everybody else, we're helping everybody else get to the next level. But then when we look around, we're still on the same level we always been at. I believe, listen to me, that once you accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself, you are in a better, more effective, and more efficient place to help other people accomplish their goals. Not the other way around. Where you're doing, nice. You partnering with that group and that people, whoever, you're doing everything for them. Then all of a sudden they get there and they don't want to bring you up. No, then you're really bitter. We can't do that to ourselves. We have too much, there's too much amazing, good, awesome thing. The same thing they're doing. What? Who says you're any different? Who told you that? Where did that come from? That you can only partner with someone else. Like you don't have goodness in you. You don't have greatness in you. That there's a specific reason you're alive right now to accomplish something in the earth that will not be accomplished outside of you. Why do you think you're alive still in this pandemic in 2020? Why are you here if you're not here to be a solution to a problem in today's world? You are a solution. But if you don't know what it is, stop what you're doing, pray, do some work on yourself. I don't care what it is. Do some introspection to figure out what your gifts are and what you are here for. And stop doing for everybody else so that you can do, once you identify or the gift is revealed, it's not finding the gift, it's in you already. Let it be revealed so that once you accomplish it, then you have a dream. Then you can attach a dream. Then you can work on your character. Then you can watch for providential doors to open and close. That's when we can turn around and do even exponentially more for other people, i.e. Joseph. What I just broke down, that's the topic of my next book. So y'all got a little commercial about that. But again, if we don't plan, there's no way to set limits if we don't plan. If I don't know where I'm going on the road, I can take any road and it will take me any amount of time and I can end up at the same spot I was. I don't know. Let me keep going. 4 ways to set kind limits to move forward. Number 1, identify your goals. Number 2, get organized towards those goals. Get organized. See, this is the deep part right here. This is the deep part. See, our goals might be complex. Listen. This is it right here. I need y'all to understand. As we identify our goals, we need to break them down into manageable parts. So as we get organized, we break them down from complex. See, then we need to cut and eliminate things that are not helpful, or things, people, social media groups, YouTube subscriptions, whatever else you could think of. There's time to eliminate. Once you identify the complex goals, then you say, okay, what don't I need? Start there. Who don't I need in my life? This is. I told y'all this is not gonna be easy. This is not gonna feel good. But I need y'all to hear this. There's people, there's things, there's places, there's social virtual things that we need to get rid of, eliminate. Then we can automate, delegate. Now, I don't know what that really looks like for automate. Somebody, if y'all care, what can we automate? As far as introverts and those who struggle with saying no, how can we automate certain things? Oh, maybe your voicemail. You know, hey. Or that email vacation setting that you could turn on. That's a way to automate. Tell people, hey, you miss me. This is what you can do. That's being kind. See, again, being clear and kind. You give people the option. Now, if they wait until the last minute to ask for your help, whose issue is that? not yours. Stop owning that. Stop owning things that don't belong to you. Stop being responsible for things that you're not responsible for. Then we can delegate. Again, getting a coach. At least 3 to 5 coaches, at least. Fitness, health, mental, finance, money. What else? Yeah. Career. Yeah. Then the complex becomes simple. Once we get organized, these are ways that we can set kind limits moving forward. Number 3, again, I already talked about this. Demolish your social media apps, friends, followers, etc. This is what I was going to share. Let it go. It's time to let it go. It is time to let it go. Some of us live online. I get it. We're in a pandemic and we've been doing a little bit more, but that might really what we've learned, and it really exposes that there's more limits that we need to set than we realized even before. Do we need to change the channel? So I mean, some of us we got Hulu, we got Netflix, we got Disney, and we're not doing any. See, the problem is you can enjoy things from time to time, watching shows and movies, though, no problem. But if you're only doing that and you're not doing anything towards your goals, you haven't taken time to get organized at all, that's a problem. It's time to turn off the channel, the subscription. Turn it off, unsubscribe, unfollow, mute. Some of these scantily clad women and they pressing off provocative. I've been muting. I finally said, you know what? It's time to set the limits moving forward in 2020. I'm tired of being nice. I'm tired of subjecting myself to watching these scantily clad women on social media that are not helping me stay faithful to my wife, that are not helping me stay pure in my mind, in my heart, in my relationship with God. I must mute you. I must unfollow you. I do not have the space anymore because there's goals I want to accomplish. I want to continue to win with my wife. I want to continue to keep my mind pure from all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't know you. You might be a voodoo priestess. No, you can't follow me. Fellas, please stop being so nice. Then all of a sudden you got to explain and say, well, your wife looking at your phone, well, who is this? Oh, well, that was, we used to, it ain't nothing right now. But so, and she liking every one of your pictures. She's sending you DMs and listen, fellas, don't get it twisted. Now we can be scandalous and trifling, but women can be too. It's time to walk away, block, or you can just unfollow. That's easy. Just unfollow. I've been doing that. Y'all have no idea how much better I feel. I'm talking about the last month that I've done it. Unfollow. Man, I'm just, get out of here. You ain't helping me win. You ain't helping me be successful to accomplish my goals. Get up out of here with a smile. See, we can be kind with a smile. We can say no with a smile. I'm not mad at them. Do you? Do your thing. Post, tweet, dress, pose, do whatever you want to do over there. I don't even know because I'm not following you, and I won't. We need to walk away. Why are we still following our ex on social media? Why are we doing that? Why are you doing that? You being nice? Yeah. Yeah, you are. And every time you see something they post and they bunned up with somebody else, you get all hurt. Why are you doing that to yourself? Why? So we can breathe. Last one. Oh, this is please do not disturb on your phone. Every device has it. There it is right there. Some of us, again, we got our phone battery can't survive. It's literally drowning in notifications. It can't survive a day, half a day for some of us, because it's constant. And they're making the phones better and better, but good grief, some of our notifications need to be turned off. Turn them off. To say no. Moving forward, 2021 is a heartbeat away, days away. The only way to set the limits, you have to have something bigger that's motivating you. that big goal, that big dream, that big aspiration, that group of people that you want to help, that you feel passionate about. And you're the person, you're the one. That's the why you have it in you. That's why God put that in you. But we got to put limits on everything else so we can do what God has called us to do and made us for. To say no, you have to have a bigger yes. This is one of my favorite quotes that God gave me. I really appreciate you guys listening. It's been a long one, but some of us needed to hear everything. I'm talking about me. This is me. I'm sharing my life. I'm sharing my journey, and I want other people to win. I've won, and I'll continue to win, but I want us to continue to win together. And that's why I'll have. I want to invite everybody to join my Facebook group. It's called Kindness Speaks. Okay, Kindness Speaks with clarity and with kindness, but still clarity. This is gonna be a safe space. It's not for anybody who wants to gossip or complain, or we're gonna talk about honestly and openly in a safe, sterile environment so that we can share situations that we're working through and ask for encouragement, ask for guidance, so that we can learn together how to say no with a smile. That's the whole point of the group. How to say no with a smile, how to set those appropriate limits. We're gonna do that here. And you know, along with ways that other people have been kind to us. Okay, now I don't want us to be bragging about what we've done kind for everybody else. Nope, I don't. That's not going to be part of it. Only what people that we've seen or what people have done for us, not what we've done for them. Key. Okay, but I would love for you guys to go to Kindness Speaks. You can find on Facebook. And this would have been the time for question and answer. But if you haven't already, go to kindnessdefined.com and sign up for our weekly newsletter. Kindness Speaks, that's the name of that as well. Right now, my goal is to get to 100 before the end of 2020. I think I'm at 78 right now. So I would love for you guys to subscribe to the newsletter. We got a lot more coming out in the book. Kindness Defined is coming. It's imminent. It's imminent, y'all. I just got some people proofreading it and just jumping through the hoops and, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's here. I'm working on the book cover, so I'm excited about that. Thank you guys for listening. I really hope that you got a lot out of this. And 2021 is the year. Come on, y'all. What are we doing? What are we dragging into 2021 that we know we need to leave in 2020? What are we dragging? We've been dragging. Some of us have been dragging it for a long time. Some of us have been dragging our willingness to be so nice for everybody else, but not be kind to ourselves. We've been dragging that for a big portion of our lives. It's time to sever. And now to put appropriate limits in place so that we can accomplish the goals, so that we can do even more, exponentially more for others. So as I go, I end with this. Nice people do finish last, but kind ones rise to the top. Let's go.